Okay, let's see here. What is up, everybody? Pooch coming back to you with another live stream of me, hopefully starting to put together the PrintrBelt. Super excited about this. I was so excited from my unboxing earlier. I couldn't resist not putting it together. So I'm gonna see how far I get tonight. It's already midnight here, but I'm feeling good right now, and we'll see how far we can get. Here, this might be useful. Why don't we do a little tweetering? See if we got any other night owls out there to join me, because otherwise nobody's gonna know. Yeah, and we'll just say, let's see. Starting the build of the PrintrBot. Hashtag PrintrBelt. Right now, if you're a night owl or awake on another part of the planet basked in sunshine at the moment, well, then come join. And then of course we need a nice attention-grabbing GIF. Come join. Join. Oh, there it is. There you go. How about Dr. Evil? There we go. Put that on there. And yeah. All right. Well, not that fun here. So let's see. Make sure that's still working the way it's supposed to. That seems like it's good. Oh, we got some people watching. Let's see. Hey. Hi, Willie's 3D. How you doing today? Hey. I'm not going to be chatting because I need my hands, but let me throw up the assembly manual. It is not an assembly manual. So you'll notice I've got a little bit nicer setup from what I was doing earlier when I did my unboxing. I got all my parts out and accounted for, went through the BOM, and it looks like I have everything and probably more than what was originally accounted for. I'm actually running some prints right now. You can see the minis going, and I got a couple of the feet. I got 3 out of the 4 of the feet earlier. I don't know if you saw my tweet earlier. I'm gonna say 2 3/4 because this one got a little warpage issue. But prints are coming along. Got a couple of the brackets. I'm just gonna see how far I can get with what I've got, and if I run into a spot where I don't have the print yet, I'll just move on to the next thing, because it's kind of the Wild West on this build. Was provided with just a everybody was just provided with the Fusion 360 diagrams online that I showed earlier, and this PDF that I've actually combined into one, so I can kind of flip through all the various assemblies and whatnot. So I figured we'll start with the main frame and go from there. So it looks like we got some extruder assembly. This doesn't look like it requires any printed parts, so we can definitely get that done. And that I don't have the prints for yet, but yeah, like I said, we'll see what we can do. I'm just gonna kind of cruise along, enjoy my La Croix. I say La Croix because I'm practically French. Actually, no, I'm not at all French. I don't know a lick of French. But I pretend. I don't know. Well, let's see. What's the view? What's going to be my best view here? I'll keep the chat open there just in case anybody wants to holler at me, tell me what I'm doing wrong or right. And let's do this. So probably should have finished opening up some of my extrusions. My extrusions of various lengths. So if you weren't on earlier for the unboxing, PrintrBelt or PrintrBot has sent me the kit while I was at ERF earlier. Was it this month? Was it last month? I think it was the end of last month. I don't know. I can't even tell what month we're in. But I wasn't here to receive it, so when I got back, I went down to the UPS store, picked it up, and it sat on my desk for probably about 3 weeks as I had other travel and work arrangements and stuff. And so I finally today, after the first weekend I've been home in probably 3 or 4 weekends, said it's time to bust into this. It's ridiculous. It's been sitting too long. Also, I've mentioned that I really would love to get this thing operating for the doing some production prints for the rep box, because I mean, how cool would it be to just have it feed parts into a bucket over and over? I think it's going to be an awesome test case to set up a belt farm of some kind, and honestly, at the $5.99 price point, you know, for small run fabrication and stuff, if you can get it dialed in, I think that's a pretty compelling setup. So anyway, oh, look who it is. This better be awesome. He paused his Tom Petty concert to jump in over here. Well, Chris, I'm happy you're here, my friend. And you know, like I said, you got 2 eyes, so you know you can watch your Tom Petty concert simultaneously. Which concert is it? Was it his last farewell? Do share. Get out. Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. I took one of my 8mm smooth rods and already put is it a linear bearing? I don't know what to call that. Anyway, the thingy with the flange. That's good. That's good. All right. So starting off with the mainframe. So we've got, boy, at least the hardware is labeled. Let me pull out my handy dandy Bondus set. I love this. This is my favorite ball driver set. A little bit pricey, but well worth it in my opinion, for doing assembly and whatnot. And let's see here. I kind of messed up my nulling from earlier. So let's see. I think that's most of my hardware in here, but yeah, I got a couple other hardware bags. That's my motion bag, I think. Let's see. I don't think I'm gonna need my Kapton right now, so I'm gonna throw that in a drawer here for now and probably forget it. But I have it recorded, so I'll remember. I put it in this drawer right here when I forget. And let's see, these guys, I'm just gonna, I'll just pull this out and set it on top because I'm running out of desk space here. Put that there. And okay, so, well, we've got, this shouldn't be hard because there's really, logic would dictate that we've got sets of equidistant pieces, and the odd man out must be the Y gantry. So we'll put that here for now, and let's make a rectangle, huh? How's that sound? Older one, live from Soundgarden Studios. Very cool, very cool. So you just got that going in the background, or are you? What do you do? What are you working on right now, bud? Assume you're working on something, or were you just watching the Tom Petty video? Shin bone's connected to the neck bone. You know, Chris, you'd be a good person to talk to. I've been spent the later evening working on my audio setup, kind of kind of, well, you can't quite see it off camera here. I'll pull it in. I kind of set up a boom, but I wasn't getting the, actually the sound was quite good, but I was picking up way too much of the printer noise. And when I had it in shotgun mode, it was really, I don't know, it seemed really echoey. So it seems like, you know, mics like that, if you're within, say, you know, maybe 15 to 20 inches, that seems to be a sweet spot. And then when you get beyond it, then it kind of, I wouldn't say it's an omni mic, but you know, kind of loses the advantage of the boom. And that could be just because it's an inexpensive shotgun mic. But I ended up going with the lav, and I think I got that dialed in on the mixer. So hopefully it sounds all right. Catching up some code for the day job. Yep, never stops, does it? Wow, okay. I don't know how I'm going to sort through all these here. Maybe my handy dandy vernier calipers. Uh-oh, it's been on. The battery doesn't die on me. I'll switch to millimeters. Okay, so this says we need an M6 10mm button head and an M6 washer. Okay, so that's a 10mm button head right there. I'm sorry, an M6 10mm button head. And here's my washers here. Yeah, see, it's a good thing it was a disclaimer that this is an advanced build because there's really not a lot in the way of labeling here. Lab sounds good. Shotguns are a misnomer. They should more correctly be called snipers. I assume you meant snipers and not snippers. Interesting. I've got a variety of washers here. So it's so satisfying just laying everything out nicely. Got two button heads, two of my 10mm M6s. You know what? I don't even think I gotta get my bigger Bondus. That's all right. Let's let me grab that real quick. I wasn't expecting to have M6s. I don't know why. Probably should have. Where's my? Pardon me while I wander over here to grab my toolbox. Probably a good thing you can't see the rest of the office. It's a hazard. Like I said, I might have gotten the workbench cleared off, but I think it was at the cost of the rest of the place. I'm gonna get a nice close-up of my soda there. No, it's not a soda. It's a, well, it's a soda water. Rumble, rumble, and let's see here. Oh no. They work well at a distance, and they are very directional. Yeah, so the ones I got, they've got the little switch on them where I think they can kind of toggle between just a kind of more of a standard cardioid all the way to a, like, you know, really directional one. But the problem was when I had it like in the directional, while it did indeed target me, it just made it sound really tinny, and the EQ just didn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm being just overly picky, anyway, lab's a good setup. That way I can wander around the house and you can hear me in whatever I'm doing. Okay, so I'll bite. This is a button head that's got to go through. Oh. Of course. Silly me. Okay, so we're going to slide it into the T-slot as such. And then we'll put our nut driver right through there, and we just need a little washer. I suppose what the washer is for, I guess we want to have a little bit of relief between the two pieces of extrusion. Seems like the right one. Got kind of two different types of washer here. Both of them seem to be M6. No, that's an M5 or smaller. Okay. All right, so that's that. Look, something's about to happen. We're about to actually assemble something. Hey, how's it going? Think Lurkum. A Lurkum. That reminds me of Dr. Seuss. Welcome. Using NDI from the iPhone. Latency is really low. Impressive. Yes. Actually, I am using the Elgato Cam app. what do I say? Epocam viewer. Washer goes inside the slot. Yeah, that makes sense because we, look at that. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. I should probably actually assemble it in front of this camera. It's tough because I didn't have, I got lazy and I didn't bring my USB hub over here, and I didn't set up another monitor to actually monitor myself. So I'll kind of look on there to see what's lined up. So yeah, I'll try to keep it down, say like here. Not so much here or here, but like right in here, right? Hey Paul, how you doing? Welcome. We are putting together a printer belt, or at least trying. Thankfully, Chris is here to talk me through it because I'm just struggling with this T-slot right now. Apparently, you know, I gotta keep a little tighter your workspace here. But you know, if we're gonna be assembling right here, printer bot. That over here, then we should probably move some stuff out of the way so we have the space for it. I'm just throwing stuff everywhere. Let's just put that there. We don't need a power cord right now. That's going to be the last thing we need. I really hope the printer belt gets more eyes on it too. You know, I gotta say, I feel like I've heard surprisingly little. I don't know why. Am I the only one that's just super excited about this thing? I mean, come on, man. Like the only other game in town is the black belt, and you know, that's like 10 times as much. Now, granted, it's got a little bit of a bigger print area, but I'll tell you what, for the print area that this has here, and for the price, I mean, like, frankly, this seems like a super screaming deal if it works the way I hope, and I'm sure it will. T slot connected to the V slot. Yeah, we know. I see what you're doing there. But you know, it is the late night stream, so I don't think we have. Well, I don't know. You know, we could have kiddos from the other side of the world on here. Let's see. Paul, where are you located? I know Chris is in Cali with me. He's just a night owl. And how about you, Think Lurkum? Look at that. We have almost a rectangle. I love extrusion. It's just such a nice assembly thing. It's so sad that now it's going to cost so much more here because of tariffs. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a big fan of tariffs. If you disagree with me, let me know in the chat. From the Netherlands, awesome. 9:30, just woke up, and what a great way to spend your Sunday morning with friends, doing a little build, trying to get a little next level printer together, the PrintrBelt. It's like a treadmill for your 3D prints. That seems to be going nicely. Look at that, Chris. What do you think? You might know what I'm doing after all, just because I can put a rectangle together. Let's see if I can find that last M6 bolt. That would really make it a challenge if he's just like giving me like one less of every component just to drive me crazy. I say he, but you know, PrintrBelt's a decent sized company. You know what? I really didn't think that through very well, did I? If I tighten that up, how am I going to get this other one in? So let's be a little bit smarter here. Work a little smarter, not harder. It is, to be fair, it's, you know, midnight 30 here. Oh, dark 30, as we like to call it. Well, as I'm sure somebody likes to call it. I just called it that. And, you know, but that's still reasonably early for a Saturday night, right? You know, get home from a little partying and then, you know, put a little printer together. Boy, I'll tell you, the amount of heat in here between my my server and the Up Mini that's got a heated chamber and printing ABS right now is pretty substantial. I'm kind of hot. Oh, look who it is. Mello in the house, man. What are you still doing up? It's like 3:30. He's a party animal, though, that Carmelo. Carmelo's in NYC. Let's see. Went to bed directly after unboxing stream and waking up with you again. Well, hey, Paul, welcome. I'm glad you came back. What is that? Looks like some kind of bug right here. I hope that's not a termite. I would hate having a termite eating my workbench. I don't know what that is. Die. See your death. I hope that didn't offend anybody. That was terribly heartless of me. So, Mello, you haven't put any machines together, huh? You're just up, can't sleep ever. That's a shame, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that. I know we got quite a few friends on here that suffer from insomnia sometimes. I've been blessed that hasn't ever been an issue for me. I probably could stand to sleep more, but I tend to be a workaholic sometimes and burn the midnight oil and then get up early and burn the morning oil. All right, so look at that. We got a rectangle. How's the stream looking here? Let's see, just make sure I'm not buffering. It says it's green. See, the best thing about streaming at 12:30 at night is that there's nobody else fighting me for bandwidth right now. Fortunately, I can't go prime time. Excuse me, that was a little bit rude. Just because you know, when everybody's home doing the Netflix and whatnot, it eats up my uplink. They really need to do some upgrades in this neighborhood. You know, my package is actually like supposed to be pretty substantial. I'm supposed to have 100 down and 12 up, which should be more than enough for, you know, a 720 stream. But I got a lot of jitter in the connection, and it's a rather large neighborhood in a rather rural area, which means I don't think they dedicate a whole lot of resources to the space. All right, back to this. Insomnia sucks. Yeah. 3D Print Tech Design. Welcome. How you doing, man? Let's see. Where did I put right there? Okay. Now we're gonna put some tiny extrusions. We need some M4 by 10mm button heads, so some smaller ones with an M6 washer. And an M4 extrusion nut. All right, so we learned earlier that these are our extrusion nuts. Felt like a bit of a jackass. Going, I don't know what these are. They weren't actually listed on the BOM, or if they were, I just totally missed them. But I don't think that they were. Maybe they were. It didn't say 18, so either I got more than was listed on the BOM or it didn't. But it was not occurring to me that these were my extrusion nuts. I think I was looking for something more traditional, like the T-nuts that you commonly see. But honestly, I'm kind of liking the M6 with the washer. I'm wondering why they did a M4 with an M6. Here, I guess we're gonna find out in a second. Maybe just a smaller hole drilling. I don't know. Seems like the same size hole. Huh? All right, so let's find us an M4. Just kind of eyeballing stuff, but you know, I know what a 10 mil, and it's still a button head. Okay, so let's see. It doesn't say. Prime time for Swedish viewers. Get up, making some breakfast, and watching some live streams, huh? Sounds like my dream Sunday morning. Welcome from Sweden. It's kind of cool. I don't usually stream at this time, so I haven't had the luxury of having my nearly as many international viewers. But I'm happy to have you with me. Just keep plucking out. Here, let's do this. Let's just pour all of the nuts and bolts. So we'll keep our little tiny button heads separate so we don't lose those. Except for, that's weird. Some of the tiny ones made it in here. I'm sure there was some sort of rhyme or reason to how they were packaged here. Okay, let's see. So we need some 4 M4s that are 10 millimeters long and a button head. That seems like what this would be. So that's a 10 mil for sure, and an M4. So I guess it's a stainless. It's a stainless. Okay, and an M6. Okay, so an M6. So it says, let's see, that's going inside. I'm gonna guess the washer assembly is going inside that, like that. That seems right. And then we're gonna put our little extrusion nut. Oh, wait a minute. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't somebody yell at me that I needed to put my extrusion nuts in before I put the end piece on? This is gonna be a slow assembly if I'm not using my brains. Chris, where were you on that one, huh? M6 is the tap size at the ends. Yes, that of course it is. You're absolutely right. M6 is the tap size at the end of the extrusion. And M4, you can tell how much extrusion-based printers I've assembled. The other ones that I put together, well, the Mark III did have some small pieces of extrusion at the bottom, and I guess so does the CR10, but that used T-nuts and was 99% assembled already. So I guess that doesn't count. Let's see, how's this camera? Is this helpful? It's totally remote too. I could just waltz around the rest of my house. You see what I'm saying? Like this is, yeah, I told you, it's hideous in here right now. It's just a mess. Don't judge, okay? I don't need your judgment. Let's see, there we go. All right, let's see. I don't know that this, does it matter which way that goes in? What do you think? Looks like they're showing one right side up and one upside down? Or are they both? Or does it even matter? I'm gonna say probably doesn't matter. So we're gonna just do that. Wonder if one's more like, I'm feeling like if I go upside down like this, that it's more likely to hold the nut where it needs to be. Although I don't know, is it gonna pull the bolt into the nut into the channel? No. See, okay. Yeah, so we want them upside down because the nut doesn't actually fit inside the T slot. Thinking. All right, let's see here. I could go for a coffee and some waffles. I could go for some chicken and waffles. That sounds good. Coffee and waffles. Belgian waffles? Maybe from Belgium? M6 is actually, we already said that. Oh, idea. 3D print a sortation box for sorting screws when assembling printers. You know, I've got a ton of little bins and whatnot. They're out in my garage right now, or carport, depending on what you like to say, from what part of the world. And then I've got a ton of these little dudes too. You know, various size. These are my 2.5s. These are my M3s. You can see they're very well sorted. And they're certainly handy, you know, when you're going through. I think, I don't know. I mean, you're probably right. It would be nice to kind of sort as you're going, but, you know, there's not that many, and I can kind of poke through them and whatnot. Keith Tinkers just tweeted at me. I had asked him if I wasn't able to get this thing assembled in a reasonable amount of time, if I could take it up to Seattle when I go next week and have him put it together for me. And he was super excited about that. And I tell you what, Keith, if you're watching, I don't know why you're not watching. You should be watching, but if you watch the replay, I will still bring it to Seattle with me. So even if I get the thing together and printing, I will still bring it to you to play with. because I would never want to deprive you of such a joyous experience. And you've assembled plenty of stuff. You really just want to have fun playing and printing on it anyway, bud. You know that. Okay. I think Lurkum built a hypercube, but bought extrusions from maybe 20. Couldn't use the nuts you can put in after, which was extremely not fun when adding stuff after. Okay, yeah. So that is the the big advantage of the T-nuts, and I don't know if I have. Let me see if I have any of those around. I'm sure you guys all know what T-nuts are. This is like kind of advanced. Advanced group here right now. Somewhere I do, but the nice thing about T-nuts, or what I'm calling T-nuts, you might call them something else, is you can actually put them in after the fact, and then as you tighten, it'll rotate and twist and lock in, so you don't have to remember to slide everything in ahead of time, like I didn't. Okay, but I've got them in now, and while it doesn't show on the screen over there, let's see. Right, you see down here, this is what you're seeing here. I see it over there, and then up here you're seeing this camera right here, right? So, okay. Ooh. Anyway, not T-nuts, but those are more expensive, I guess, or maybe there's rhyme or reason. I'm sure they are more expensive. Got to keep costs down. And I mean, look, to be fair, too, if you haven't been following along at home with the PrintrBelt story, boy, I'm sweating like crazy right now. The original PrintrBelt that Brooke released, what, 6 months ago, or he never released it. He started to release it, but I want to say that was priced at something like $1,600, and it was a little bit bigger, but I think he made a good call trying to make it more affordable so that it could get more adoption. But again, I don't know. Why have I not heard of more people being excited about this? And granted, I think they've only started shipping. Also, if you go to the website right now, they're saying they're out of stock on both. So I'm wondering if they're just waiting to see how it goes for a couple of the early adopters. I know Bill Steele ordered a kit, of course, but to be fair, he was one of the primary collaborators to work with him. I'm not sure if Joel ended up getting another one. I know he ordered one of the originals, and then Brooke didn't end up sending those. So I don't know if we'll see something from Joel on this at some point. But I'm happy to be sharing the experience. They do make drop-in T-nuts for 80/20. Let me dig up a link. Struts should have drop-ins for 80/20. Haha. Actually gutted the printer a while ago. I wish I had known those were a thing back then. Yes, that's really nice. I gotta get a fan in here. I'm gonna open a window. This is insane. Let's see here. Yeah, I got a server running. I got my computer running, and it's obviously going full bore right now too. Keeping up with OBS. You know what I should do? I wonder if I run the hard line over to the computer so I'm not using the Wi-Fi's. I guess it wouldn't matter. It seems like it would be better. Somebody's cut the hard line. It's not going to reach. Shazbot. Alright, well, got a longer Cat 5 somewhere. I don't know. If it's working right. We don't need to mess with it. Alright, I'm back. Window's open. What'd I miss? Alright. Time to put that on there. Progress is slow, but steady. Alright, we got our little extrusion nuts. I think Joel did say he got one of the new ones. Cool. So maybe we'll see him get to that in a couple months. Not that he's not busy with all sorts of other stuff too. All right, so we got our M4s, and we're gonna slide that in there. Let me make sure I got my. Oh, wait a minute. No, wrong one. There we go. So an M4 uses a 2.5 millimeter hex, as we all know. Not there, not there. And all right, slide that in there like so. Hold it in place with my nut driver. Let's do this. I'm gonna line that up there. Did I get it? I did. I can feel it tighten. Ooh, that's very satisfying. Put that in there, and then I can line this up like so. I'll tell you what, man. I just love how brilliant some of the designs are on assembly for some of this stuff. It's look, I did it again. I didn't even learn from the first time. You can't tighten until you got both of them in there. Well, I will learn one of these days. Yeah, man, hold on to those extrusions. They're going to be worth some money. I heard an interesting story on the Friday night 3D printing hangout last night from David at Printed Solid. He was saying that he just ordered a full container of extrusion, and it came in on July 2nd, which I think that's what he said, which is 2 days before the tariffs kicked in. Boy, that's probably really close. Probably really close to my face. Okay, so we won't tighten that all the way until we figure out where this is exactly going to go, but it's somewhere along there. I guess I could have actually like assembled in here and then slid it over into place, but you know, that'll do. All right, I'll do that over here. Hey, Ben. Good morning. Seems like I was just chatting with you. You know what, buddy? You inspired me to get up off my duff and start building, you know? You can't just take stuff out of a box. That's boring. Let's put something together, right? Am I right? Chris is always well. He's a well fellow. Sure, he is quite well. He's watching Tom Petty, old Tom Petty concerts, reliving his glory days. Right, Chris? Look at this. We'll try it on this one, see how that goes. Do a little hand tight. And then maybe like lift up. How's my, you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Let me get in there. Get that detail shot in there. What do you think, Ben? We've upped the production value just slightly since you were last with us. We got a B camera now, and I went to the lav mic, so hopefully sounds a little bit better. What's cool about the lav mic, I got it hooked up to my new mixer, recommended by Barnacules Nerdgasm himself. Actually, a lot of people use this Yamaha mixer. It's pretty sweet, but you know, it's cool because I can throw some effects on here. Let's mess around with this. This will be fun. How about do that? Throw on the pitch change. You know, it's get a little high pitch, and then you go low pitch.
It's very wide coming at you.
And get up here, and it's the Lollipop Guild. That's a lot of fun, right? All right. I don't know. Did it even do it? I can't even.
I don't have my headphones on, so I can't monitor it. I'll bet I sound so silly.
All right. That's enough of that. Do I sound normal again? Hey! Cool. Thanks, 3D Tech Design. What does this button do? Appreciate the donation. You're very kind. I'm embarrassed to say an NOK. Is that a Norwegian? You said you're from, gosh, I think you said you're from Norway earlier. Should really pay better attention, not Norway. He said he's from Sweden. it Swedish money? Pooch gets a couple more kits under his belt, and the next thing you know, he will be designing his own. Ha! I'm going to go on record right now saying that Repcord is never going to release a printer. I do not have the patience to support the printer. I don't know how some of these printer companies do it. I'm having a hard enough time building a box. I can't imagine having like electricity and heat involved. It sounds very scary. Sounds like a good way to get sued. And Repcord does not have it does not have deep pockets. It barely has pockets. But we love what we do. We are passionate. And there's no sense in tightening that. Okay, hey, look at that. I think I'm done with page 1. Swedish, living in Norway. Don't worry, you're confused about NKR2. Yeah. Well, it says NOK on my... I'm not sure what NOK... Let's look that up. What currency is that? Is it Bitcoin? I like Bitcoin. It's not Bitcoin. It'd be BTC. NOK currency? NOK currency. It's a Norwegian kroner. And one of them is equal to 12 cents. So 20 is equal to $2.46. Hey, that'll give me a cup of coffee. Thanks. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Let's see. Anton. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Anton. Wait a minute. I've met. It's all coming together now. Anton, I'm pretty sure I met you at Murph, right? 3D Print Tech. North Korea. It's North Korea money. No, it's the Norwegian krone. I'm probably not even saying that right, so apologies for that. Let's get back to the assembly guide. We're going to go to page 2 now. Moving on. All right, now page 2 requires some prints that I don't have completed yet. So let's see. I see they've got the feet on there. I will say this: I do have 3 of the 4 of my feet. Interesting. Here's the feet design. I printed these in ABS on my Up 2 Mini that I just got that I love. It's my little ABS factory, and it prints very, very tightly toleranced stuff. I mean, look at this. Look at this. That is just perfect. How well that fits right in there. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's beautiful. You know what? And beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it's my eyes right now. So I say beautiful. So the thing I'm wondering though is if it's actually like supposed to be tighter than this. Because if that's like slipping around, like how do I lock the feet into place? Is it just supposed to sit on the feet like that? It doesn't feel right. I feel like there's either the print tolerance was supposed to be such that it is a pressure fit and it's not, or maybe there's some locking mechanism in a later step. I'm gonna guess that they were meant to be press fit and that maybe my tolerances are not as good as I was thinking. No, not North Korea. Oh yeah. Let's see. Kidding. Ben saying Seoul in the south is an awesome city. I've never been to South Korea or North Korea. Tolerance, goodness. At this time on Sunday, smash that like button. Thanks. Yes. Smash a like. You know what? If you feel like it, and if you don't like it, then feel free to share. I'm not going to try to compel people to like things that they might not like. But if you're here and you don't like it, then go away, because that's just silly. Life's too short to be wasting your time doing things you don't like, right? Anyang. Let's see. I know Anyang. He was that kid from Arrested Development. He was the Korean exchange student. All right, so I guess we're going to skip this page because I don't have the F6 mount yet. And I don't have the mount for the power supply yet. Wondering how that's going to work exactly too. So I see 3 of the 4 feet, but the power supply is where the 4th is. So it's probably like, I think it's probably saying slide these in. Wait, how's that going to work? How are you going to slide that in without taking the slot off? Hey, Eddie, what's up, buddy? Whose message got held for review? Oh, the bot got someone. Okay, we got some people talking Korean apparently in here. Eddie, what are you doing, man? You still bored? You must be bored if you're here and awake still. It's like 1 p.m. here, so you're in, what, Houston or Texas somewhere, so that's central, so it's like 3 a.m.? What are you doing up, dude? You can't sleep too? It's insomnia night, apparently. All right, moving on. Oh, yeah, sweet. Let's put together an extruder. That'll be awesome. Look at all that goodness. I wonder if eyes are getting old. Let's move our extrusion down here for now. I'll hang it off. Just hanging off that drawer right there like that. Keep it nice and organized. I'm gonna move over this way. Is this still? Am I covering myself up if I move this far? I know. I'm just. I really hope you guys weren't in a hurry to see this thing get done because I'm really taking my precious time, aren't I? Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm coming in on my. I don't want to butt up against my camera here, but see, look at this. What do you think? Could I have been a hand model? Maybe. I think hand modeling is a young man's game. Getting too wrinkly and I just don't have the cuticles for it. If somebody hit me, get me some money for a pumice stone on that super chat, so I can get these hands cleaned up and get my hand modeling career launched. All right, let's put it. Who's excited as I am to put an extruder assembly together? I know it's gonna be rad, right? Let's see, kill that. We don't need that screen. So, where'd my little chat screen go? I'm sure you're all yelling at me to do something. Let's see. Ha. Hey, you're gonna do an unboxing too? What do you do it live? Do a video? I don't know. I like to do live because I just don't have time to sit down and edit video. So I guess I'm kind of lazy in that regard. And so I just shoot from the hip, you know. That's why I do live. But you know, you certainly get better production value. Ha! Thanks, Eddie. I'm gonna get myself a nice pumice stone. $5. That's American money right there. Awesome. We're getting money in all denominations. I got a Norwegian krone earlier. I think. Am I saying that right? All right. Come on. Just tell me to shut up and keep going here, guys. All right. So it looks like we need the extruder plate, which is over here in this box here. Let's see here. That's not an extruder plate. That's a printer board. Put that right there for now. That does not look like that. So you love this this assembly project. This is my kind of assembly, actually. Like, I like the problem-solving aspect. Which one looks most like the picture? I'm gonna guess this one. That's gonna be our extruder plate. And maybe these are the nuts we need. I don't know. Like, we got kind of different hardware in different bags. I think we're definitely going to need the hot end. So we'll put that there. The Carl Ubis 13. And I don't know if that's the high flow or not. You know, that was on the... Let me look at the bomb really quick. Because I thought I said it might have said HF, but that could be wishful thinking, because that looks like it's a little bit small. Be a high flow nozzle. Let's see, here I got my bomb. Dum, da, dum, bum, bum. $sign under 10 next to the emojis. Hey! Thanks. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, Ben, tell us about your new gig, man. I went to the website, and I think I've been missing some deets. Obviously, the website's down now. So what's new with you, man? Let's see here. Okay, what were we doing? We're looking for the hot end on the bomb. That's the power supply unit. See, I read acronym. The LRS 350 PSU. LRS is the name of the company. 350 watt. Here it is. It is. It's the high flow. The UBIS 13 HF. That stands for high flow, I believe. So, if you haven't seen these UBIS hot ends before, they're pretty unique. You can see they're not a lot in the way of the cooling fins, because it doesn't need to be. If you get Brooke going about why this is better than an E3D V6, he'll love to tell you all kinds of stuff. But it's a ceramic heater integrated, and then some copper. I'm not sure what we got going on under the insulation, but you know, it's not a cartridge-based system like everybody else's. Like, the windings are directly around the nozzle and the heat break. So I don't think I want to unscrew this, because there's, as I recall, there's like Teflon and stuff in here that it would probably be bad if I started trying to take this thing apart. But anyway, that's the UBIS 13 HF. High fidelity. The sock in the drawing looks like an HF. The sock in the drawing. Yeah, oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, well, you're right. It is an HF. Hey, cool. Thanks, Paul. I got some euros now, too. I think that's favorable. The currency conversion from euros is quite favorable for coming this way, right? Or maybe it's not. I don't remember. Let's see. I'm not sure if you've seen my videos, but I'm trying to show my passion for 3D printing. I'm trying to grow my channel. I love content creation, so I'm going for it. Subs, views, and the likes, welcome. Hey, I am embarrassed to say, Ben, that I don't know that I'm subscribed to your channel, so let's rectify that right now. See how many Hawk 3D Protos there are on YouTube's. Hawk 3D. And there it is. Oh my gosh. You're only at 4.4K, but you got one more. Ooh. Ooh, that's a nice looking intro. I'm gonna watch that later though. That's intense. It seems intense. It's like seems like the beginning of like a UFC fight. Dun dun dun. Is Joe Rogan in your? That would be awesome. If you get Joe Rogan in your trailer video, that means you win the internet. Nice. All right, I'm gonna watch that later. All right, I'm subbed, and I'll catch up with your stuff in a little bit, Ben. Okay. Let's see. Eddie subbed. All right, there we go. Sorry I wasn't subbed till now, but look at that. Hey, I'm number 4,444. That's good luck, right? I think what do I win? What does subscriber 4,444 win, Ben? Big UFC fan. I know. I remember that. I remember that about you when the McGregor fight happened. Big Conor McGregor fan too, I imagine. Let's see. Oh, how to give some feedback? I don't know. It looks like the bot might have blocked something here. Let's see. Hides. I don't know. Were you trying to post a link or something, man? Here, I'll mod you if you want to put something up there. I think Chris is still modded from a long time ago. Be good, Chris. I might put you on timeout. Put you in the corner. Put you in the sin bin. If Nick gets on here, I doubt he's probably sleeping. But if he gets on here, I'm going to throw him in the sin bin where he belongs. Okay, where were we? We were having fun. That's where we were. All right, so we're going to put together this extruder here. So we got our big L bracket, and we got our UBIS hot end, the high flow, as we discovered. Got our extruder goodies. Looks like we need some bearings. That's right here. Start taking some of this stuff out. No links. Thanks for the mod. You're welcome. Yeah, don't let it go to your head. If you're a mod now, now it's a lot of responsibility. You're gonna have to find interesting links and share them. You don't need that quite yet. We'll put that over there. And boy, somebody over at PrintrBelt had a lot of fun with their little sealer, their little electric baggie sealer, because they like to seal things in like all these different compartments. There's our bearings and our tensioner, belt tensioners. I'm trying to put my trash can over here. Take this out. A mod and a sub. The stream rocks. Hey, yeah, man. That's what you get. I like to reward my viewers. Who else needs a sub? Purple Haze 2 and a sealed filament box. Yeah, believe it, man. It's coming. pH 2. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. Trust me. Read my lips. Mark my words. As soon as the house gets rebuilt, set that up. All right. What are you and Chris doing? Are you guys gonna collab? Got some standoffs. Okay, so this seems to have its own set of hardware. Maybe. Digging into all the little baggies. All the little compartmentalized baggies. I'm not really sure why that's necessary. I'm probably doing something wrong. Like the truly organized would only like open up like one compartment of the baggie. Am I not? Here. Make sure I'm giving you guys the proper view. See, and then we take that and we throw that over there. So don't worry. The maid comes tomorrow. By the maid, I mean I'll pick that up tomorrow. So that's our little extruder dealio, tensioner, idler. Okay, so let's think here before we start putting stuff together, because my habits would mean I'm going to put something together and then I would probably need to take it apart to put something else on. So I'm going to start with, say, getting the bearings and the wheel assemblies on the long axis here. My handy dandy Delrin wheel assemblies. I love me some Delrin. Delrin's probably top 5 of my favorite thermoplastics of all time. The other ones being, of course, Peak and Ultim, aka PEI. Then Pet G and let's just say PLA, because who doesn't like PLA? Yeah, man. I'll hang out with you, Ben. I love hangouts. All right, so we gotta get our M5 washer. We got our G25 bearings. We got our what is that? Bolt. It's an M322 socket heads. No. Yes. It's hard to tell where the arrows are pointing here. Let's see if that makes sense. I don't think it's an M3. I think it's an M5. Yeah, M530s, which were not in that bag, of course, unless it was these. But no, those are button heads. So if it's an M530, well, these are M5. Is it? It must be these. Let's, is my B cam still going strong? Dropped it, but yeah, that's a 30, obviously. M5. Money. Yeah, nothing but money. So that goes through there. Is it tapped? It's just tight. I think it's just tight. Do I have 4 of these? I do. Okay, but the bottom ones, the bore on these is bigger. Why would that be? Does that mean I need another washer of some kind? There's an eccentric spacer. It's very eccentric. Well, interesting. I don't really like that. But the diagram's not showing a washer there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do I throw a washer on it? Probably, if I did that, I'd probably need it for something else. This is strange, man. So I got the top two, which are like, they're not tapped, but they're really tight. I don't know if it's gonna fit. Look at that, jeez. Wow, okay. Well, that's kind of cool. That makes me happy how snug that fits. I guess you want that snug. Tap that thing. Let's see. Yeah, the Friday night stream is pretty well. It goes from 8 to like 11-ish Pacific time. That's gotta be like the middle of the night though for Ben. So that's not exactly practical. Yeah, no, it would be cool to have you on the hangout, man, but you know, sucks that you'd have to get up so early, middle of the night for you. It's like, what do we determine? Because it was like the catch-up's like at 2 a.m. We do 7 p.m. So that's like, what did you say that was? Like 2 a.m. for you? Ooh. Giving them keys to the castle, huh, Chris? You're not supposed to talk about the secret Facebook page. I don't feel like opening the window did much for me. This is strange. That seems... Is this an eccentric spacer? This is an eccentric spacer. Okay, so that makes sense. The I think the machining on this leaves a little bit to be desired, but it'll probably work. How many of these eccentric spacers do we have? 2? This is interesting. Maybe the reasoning this is done this way will make itself known. Boy, I might have to ream this out. It's tight. I could probably just hammer that in. Oh, look at that. It snapped in. Okay, so but this is interesting. Maybe it's intentional. You know what? I'll bet you it is intentional. I take it back. Who am I to judge, like, PrintrBelt doesn't know what it's doing. Okay, so check it out. So I said it left something to be desired because I'm like, well, that's strange. That hole's off-center. But here's why it's off-centered. Because what's on the other side of this? The wheels. And if we want to adjust how tightly they're grabbing around the extrusion, now we have the ability to do that by rotating the eccentric spacer. Duh. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, well, we learned something today. I hope everybody learned something today. So that's why that was done that way. What did I just do with my other? Oh, here, they're right here. I didn't do anything with them. Okay, that slides in there nicely. And that slides in there nicely. Like so. And then if I want it to be a little bit tighter or a little bit looser, bing, bang, boom. That's cool. I guess that's what makes it eccentric. I should probably, I feel like I should know some of this terminology. It should be more obvious, but I haven't built a lot of these type of kits before, and I haven't seen it, so interesting. Read the manual, don't break it. There is no manual. Dude, it's like this. What am I not breaking? See, speaking of middle bay, you gotta clean up, compile the code. Okay. See you, Chris. I am reading the manual. The best manual I got. It's a couple PDFs with some arrows. Eddie, you never answered me, dude. What are you doing right now? Why are you up? Or did you? Maybe you did answer me. Subbed. Huh. Eddie hates YouTube. Don't be a hater, Eddie. Oh, here. You're just printing filming updates to the Ender 3. Man, people love that Ender 3, huh? Country! What are you doing up, buddy? 4 in the morning. Welcome, dude. I'm glad you're here. We're putting together a PrintrBelt. Saw it here first. Saw it, heard it. Should probably check in, make sure I'm still showing up on the stream. Everything looks right. Yeah. Still got my B camera showing off my nice hands here. Probably time to get rid of my fancy sparkly water, my La Croix. Oh, a little something in my eye there. All right, so if you're just tuning in, Walter, we're putting together an extruder assembly. This is going to go on the Y-axis. Now, I did an unboxing earlier, and we learned that the terminology for the PrintrBelt is a bit different, because if you look at the design of the thing, you'll notice pretty quickly that it's not your typical XYZ Cartesian setup, because we've got like what they're calling X, which is the belt running toward me. Y is the gantry that slides across the belt, and the Z is the extruder assembly sliding up and down the Y gantry here. So I guess it's kind of correlated, but not the same. I think I got that right. Man, we got a lot of night owls and early birds. So Walter, are you still up, or did you get up early? Country. Also, what's for breakfast, dude? You gonna cook up some grits? Looks like me scratching my head. Let's see. Is it coffee time? No, I'm not tired. I just had something in my eye. That's all. Everybody settle down. I got a good 4 or 5 hours in me. I could go like Walter does and just go, you know, stream all day, all night long. Okay, so we got okay, so we got our eccentric spacers in. They're very eccentric, and then we need our 625 bearing, and then our Delrin wheel, and an M5 nylock. Beware the nylock. All right, sounds easy. So because we have our eccentric spacer down here, see, I got to remember to keep it out in front of me. Instead, I keep wanting to pull it back into my lap, because apparently I assemble stuff in my lap. So that's my 625s, because they're not 608s, and they actually say, does that say 625? Yeah, it says 625. I don't know if that probably won't focus. 625Z. And oh, look at that. We have a QC issue here. It would appear there is an obstruction inside this Delrin wheel. Like, wonder if I just, yeah, that washer is loose. Maybe if I get my little, little dentist kit, pull that out. Let's see here. Trying not to stab myself. I've seen a lot of people stabbing themselves on Twitter or cutting themselves, going to get stitches. That one's all right. So it looks like these little Delrin wheels have the 625 bearing pressed into them with a washer in between. I'm sure there's a good reason. I don't know what it is, but my teeth cleaning tools have proved useful once again. Yes, it is the washer. Eddie, tell me about the washer. Why is the washer in there? I'm sure nothing is by accident. I just didn't know why. And I just needed to move it slightly so I could get it on the shaft. Yes, I said shaft. Where are my nylocks? Bring me my nylocks. Just like saying nylock. Sounds like narwhal or some other kind of mythical creature. I'm gonna guess that no tools were provided with this kit because this is for advanced makers, so you're expected to have your own. So my nut driver set is out in the garage, and I am too lazy to walk out there, so I'm just going to use some pliers to hold the nylock on one side like this. It's a very careful technical adjustment. Maybe, wait a minute. This is supposed to be a washer, isn't there? No. Didn't say anything about a washer in between. Okay. Well, maybe that's why the washer's in between them somehow, so it doesn't pinch them and it lets the wheel still roll freely. I mean, that's tight. I don't know that too much friction is going to matter so much on this gantry. I mean, it's still going to be able to move rather freely. Put my eccentric spacer in there again. Do the same thing. When you compress with the screws, it keeps the bearings from locking up. Yeah, that's. I just said that, Eddie. Come on. Makes perfect sense, though, right? Well, Maybe I didn't get that quite out of the way. There we go. The nylock. Like something out of a murder mystery. Some sort of evil creature called the nylock. Ole, ole, ole. How about that World Cup, huh? Something. Well, I'm guessing I'll need to get a little wrench on there later to move my eccentric spacers accordingly. But for now, that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. All right, so since we don't have an eccentric spacer, we're doing two the 625s. Lots of bearings. Lots of bearings. And then we got our Delrin wheels. Come on. There we go. Delrin wheel, Delrin wheel. Let's see. It's excited. Grits, eggs, and sausage just for me. Sorry, I'm slow to read that, but dude, I'm excited. I love me some grits, and eggs, and sausage. You're making me hungry. Making me hungry. All right, 2 more nylocks, and then we're done with this part. And we'll start putting the extruder and the hot end together. Oh, got one of my nylocks here around one of these M3s. Hate it when that happens. How's that looking? You guys getting the details you need? Is everybody happy? Is everybody feeling like they're really getting the true PrintrBelt experience here? Like you're living it? I love ball drivers, man. Look at that. I'm way off axis and I'm still tightening. Amazing. These are actually really good ones too. Sometimes the cheap knockoff ball drivers just don't have the same tolerancing and they'll start to slip. And that's more apparent, honestly, at the smaller sizes too. But man, I got actually interesting side note. Putting together, I have a 3D printing starter kit, which has been overshadowed by the launch of the rep box, but inside the starter kit I have a ball driver set that I sell that it comes with the handle and the detachable magnetic ones, and I did that intentionally because you can chuck them into a drill driver for faster tightening and insertion. So I think that's a little over tight. I'm going to loosen that one just a skosh. It's a technical term, a skosh. It's like a tidbit or a. Now it's got a little wiggle to it. You gotta get it right in the right spot. That's the nice thing about these nylocks, though. That feels nice. This one's a little bit tight too. I mean, it's not like this thing needs to roll and race, but yeah. All right, look at that. We're getting somewhere, huh? Watch American football because it's a real sport. Well, wow, said it 3 times. Not into the Euro football, the rest of the world football, huh, Ben? What is that? I got a tiny, tiny piece of tubing. I think that is actually from my dentist kit covering the pokey parts. All right, let's see. So, should we grab let's grab a stepper, huh? Who doesn't want to? Let's get a stepper going here, and let's see. So this in the diagram, we've got one that's not hardwired. I don't have one that's not hardwired. They're all hardwired. Nylocks. Yeah, man. Beware the nylocks. It's like the Night King, but the nylock Night King. those are the same length. So now this is a little bit frustrating. This is the long one. I'm gonna guess though that we want the one with the extendo, because if we're thinking about this, this has the potential to be the furthest away from the printer board. Well, it depends on where they locate the stepper for the X. So if that's on the far side, yeah, I don't like that they're using hardwired steppers either, Eddie. Okay, but I didn't get to choose because this is not my show. This is not my printer. Well, it is my printer, but I didn't design the printer. You know what? They probably just had a bunch of hardwired ones. There's some good reason. There's always a reason. Maybe they just had a bunch. They got a good deal on them. Whatever. But you're right, because it just makes it less convenient to rework, or obviously now I'm in a situation where I've got to find the right stepper to attach so I don't use one that I need elsewhere. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the Explodo diagram of the, where's the Fusion 360? So the Getting Started with Your PrintrBelt guide basically just gives you 4 resources. It gives you the PDFs that I've been working through. It gives you the Autodesk 360 design file, which I was showing off earlier, and is here. Whoa, hold on, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. Stick with me. Okay, so I could do a screen share, but then it gets a little wonky, so I'm just going to do it this way. So yeah, but see, this isn't telling me anything either, really. So I've got a stepper that's on the one side of the belt, which I kind of knew, but I don't know where that is because this is not really what the what the end product looks like. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with the assumption that the stepper. I think I just dropped a nut. I go with the assumption that the stepper with the longest one is gonna be our extruder. That's a fair assumption. Let's see if let's see if there's any other clues in the PDF real quick. Okay, so it looks like the Y gantry stepper is underneath. What temp will the hot end go up to on this? It's their high flow. I can look that up in a second. Hot, because it's designed to push a bunch of plastic quickly. Let's see. Yeah, whatever, man. You laugh at me all you want. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Just sweating like a dog. Yeah, really no more clues on which stepper is which. Huh. Eddie, that's what I love about you, man. You don't make any ifs, ands, or buts around what you feel of things. If you don't like it, you let the world know, and that's all right with me, man. I got on Discord once to see what it's all about. I didn't really get it, but I'm not a gamer, and so I'm not into the. I think isn't that what kind of is driven around, like people that are doing Twitch and stuff a lot get on Discord. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Well, worst case, I guess I'll just take the extruder motor off and replace it with something else. I mean, What do you guys think? Is it a fair assumption that the longest one is probably the extruder? Oh, my prints are done. I'll pull that out in a second. We'll take a look. See how that came out. Because I got some parts for the PrintrBelt. All right, so we'll go with this guy as our extruder. Only took, 10 minutes to make that decision. And all right, this is where it gets a little... Okay, so we got some button heads coming in. M3 by 10 button heads coming in for the fan bracket, I think, on the far side. But we should be able to get to that, so that's for these under here, which I think holds the fan, the part cooling fan assembly. Use it for voice chat after shows. Okay, cool. So it's basically like the party line, Walter. So you can just talk to each other, but you don't have video. Let's see. All right, yeah, let's just bolt on the extruder right now. So we need some M322s. We need M316s. Wow. Man, there's a lot going on here all at once. That explosion's kind of hard to read there. So it looks like we got a bolt going through the top of the extruder into the the top of the lever. And this is the rocker arm. Okay, so this goes like this. Am I aimed well? Does that look good? I feel like I'm... How's that? There we go. Alright, so this goes... It goes on here. Yeah. Okay. And then we need a washer and an M322. So take off that standoff. These look like they might be M322s. Oh, good eye. Yep, that's an M320. Wait, it might be a 20. No. Yeah, that's a 22. The deuce, as we like to call it. I don't know. I like to call it. Let's see. Eddie hates Microsoft more than Discord. PlayStation 4. Huh. Well. Wow. Yep, 22 is like right in there. So boy, that doesn't leave any room to bite. Maybe that's not a 22. Maybe that's a 20. Is this the 22? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a 20 because that doesn't quite go through enough to grab the stepper. Let's do it this way. No, see, this is a 25. Let's measure again. So the problem is Look at that. 22 doesn't leave any room to grab through that. So you know what? I've got extra 25s and stuff, so I'm going to use this 25. And if I need another one, use another one. But unless I read that wrong in the first place. No, see, it's saying all 3 are 22s. That doesn't make sense though, because the ones on the bottom are actually like recessed in. So let's see. Unless, did I put this on? No, that's right. It's correct. Okay, so it's a 25, not a 22. Okay. I'm making the call. I guess this is what it means by being an expert, you know. You got to be able to make these judgment calls, these snap judgment calls to go against the manual. It's not even a manual. Go against the PDFs. You bought Country's 3D some of my nozzle cleaners? Wow. That's cool. Why didn't, like, you donated them as like a giveaway, or Country just needed a couple of them, or what? What was the story there? Either way, I appreciate the support. You get a lot of good feedback on those nozzle cleaners. If you don't own my nozzle cleaning kit, it's my #1 seller on my Amazon store. Hypercube firmware and slicer dialed in, and he's got his duet, and it's quiet and smooth. Nice. That's using the stock stepper drivers, I'm assuming, because the duet Eddie Mosier is the bomb diggity. From your mouth to God's ears. All right. So that's that. It's easy enough. Now we get some 22s. See, now that goes through there. And that goes through there. That should leave us enough. Yeah, it's not a lot, but this will compress slightly. Yeah, I kind of wish those were longer, but I think it'll work. Well, it's the one set, so when I say some, I mean one. Oh, like because it comes as like 10 in one, so some of them are all together in one thing. Nice. All right, well, that doesn't have to go there right just yet. And let's see. 2660 drivers, yep. Grab the Duet Wi-Fi since they are on sale for a project coming up. On sale, bah. Eddie Mosier, I can actually help if you need with that firmware. That's what she said? Really, Eddie? Really? Some of the stuff isn't intuitive. I love that term, intuitive. I make a lot of assumptions. Oh, you can't really see if I'm tightening right in front of it. Just gotta get. I'll crank down on that so it grabs onto my hot end there. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Got my high flow ready to go. have a duet on the Artemis, but it's going to be similar printer, so I might have to hit you up. All right. I'm glad to see that you guys are helping each other. It's very nice. Let's see. Well, I gotta get this little dude. My hob bolt. This thing looks like. I love the hob bolt or the geared extruder on this. It looks like some sort of medieval torture extruder thing. Okay, so the gearing is on the top on this one, which makes sense because it's feeding through, but it looks like I gotta back out that grub screw ever so slightly. Let's see if there's one in my mini-me. No, I need the smaller. I need my mini-me. Let's see if I got that in here. There it is. It's a little bitty one. There we go. Back that out a little bit so I can get that shaft in there. That's what she said, right, Eddie? Wow, that's a tight fit. Also, my teeth aren't lining up, aren't meshing, and so I can't press it down. See if I can get those teeth just right. Just so. Come on, get in there. Probably should have done that differently. Can't really compress on this thing because I don't feel like I'm doing this the smartest way. But story of my life. Fighting with that all night. Working on the ender and trying not to block the video with your big hand. Yeah, sorry, I'm doing the same thing. What type of controller and firmware does this printer use? This printer, Walter, uses the printer board. And it's the older F6 revision. So it's PrintrBelt's own board. And the firmware is Marlin? No. Is that right? I'm trying to think. If it's I mean, you can run any kind of firmware you want on it, actually. Let's see. Risking it for a biscuit. I did laugh to myself. Or out loud, if I'm being honest. Just like, so your mind is in the gutter. Yeah. Isn't your mind always in the gutter, Eddie? Doesn't matter what time it is? Well, you know what? Why don't I just take that off and it'll make it a lot easier. Take this guy out of here so I can get my teeth to mesh. Smarter, not harder, right? Then I get that guy on there. So, man, that is some tight tolerances there. So we don't want the teeth grinding against the edge of that. Why do I keep doing that? I don't usually make clicking noises like that. Apparently I've gotten some sort of nervous tick. Just see before I tighten that grub screw what I'll put it here so I can tighten it from the side. How about if we put this here and point it downward more, or like here, we can at least kind of not obstruct the view as much. And that's got to go like that. So get them a little, that's why. Watch out for the cord. There we go. Much better. I feel like this is for, the problem is I'm right-handed, so I guess I got to move it over here so that my right hand isn't getting in the way. Yeah. How's that? Get this out of there. Yep, you're busted. Yes, it is rep wrap firmware. I'm sorry, it's getting late. I feel like I've loaded, because the printer board, I'm trying to remember now, so long ago I felt like I built that that modded Simple Pro, but that had a printer board F6 in it, and yeah, it's rep wrap firmware, and we were using Pronterface to control it, yeah, that's what it was, but I'm not sure if you can load other firmware on it. I'm sure you could. I don't know. Somebody could. I can't. I don't want to. I don't feel like that's tightening the way it needs to be. These are SAE. Boo. Don't tell anyone. Let's see, it wasn't going in quite. Alright, let's see if I rotate that a hair. Ah! Stepped it too far. A step too far. Maybe I just wasn't getting seated in there. Yeah, this is actually too small. What is this? This is a 1.27. I think I need something in between. That's too small. What size is this grub screw? Come on. There we go. Well, that fit, whatever it was 1/16. I'm gonna guess it's probably not a 1/16, but the 1/16 worked. So, and it was tight. It was really tight, actually. There we go. All right, well, it's not going anywhere. Looks like there was only one grub screw on this, too. Also, I think I'm probably seating it. Well, I don't think I need to seat it this close to the aluminum. In fact, I don't think I should seat it this close, because that means the actual grub that's going to grab the filament is not going to be lined up with the other side. So let's get this up to where it needs to be, huh? Shall we? Shall we? Why does it seem like these teeth aren't meshing up? I feel like something's not right here. Something is not right. Get that, okay. Not quite in the right spot. Alright, that looks good. There we go. Ooh, look at that. I love that. I love it when something fits super snug. Yeah, thanks, Eddie. I think I'm sure he does have his stuff on GitHub. Haven't really gotten to that part yet. I think this might be a good sign. I'm gonna probably call it a night after I get this assembly done, because we'll take a look at our prints that just finished on the Up Mini. Okay, so we need our little spring tensioner dealio. which probably we should have put in beforehand. Now I'm going to have to compress it as I'm going. So once again, we're going to take this off of here. This is what I was talking about, you know? I was saying before I started putting this together, I'm like, all right, let me give this some thought before I start putting stuff together, so I'm not putting it together, taking it apart, putting it together, taking it apart again. But looks like best laid plans, as always. All right, so get my springy dingy in there. And right in there, okay. Now, this is interesting. Do we compress it slightly? Get that camera in there so everybody at home can see what's happening here. This feels like it would be great to have a friend at some point, like 2 hands at least. Compress and seat a screw at the same time. I'm guessing this is probably not the best way to go about this, but I'll go with whatever works. So let's see here. No, problem is it's pushing it out while it's need like a little spring compressor. Wonder if I can just get it where it needs to be with one. Here we go. Yeah, take that. Take that, extruder. Not going to be bested by you. Not tonight, extruder. Yep, it's like 2 a.m. It will affect my efficiency of assembly. But I'll be honest, Walter, I probably wouldn't be that efficient with it at any other time of day either, because I'm kind of a goof that way. I mean, you saw me at IRF. I spent the entire time putting boxes together that were supposed to be done like during setup. But we got it done just before the end of the show. So that's all that matters, right? All right. That's a good looking extruder assembly. And all right, let's just get this fan on here. Fan and a part fan. Let's see, so for that we need our little mount over here. Excuse me. I don't think it's that. Maybe it's not in here. Put our printer board, our rep wrap firmware, printer board. Let's see, our fans are in here. So I'm looking for this little L bracket looking dealio, and I'm not seeing it. Where's my bomb? Thebomb.com. Just make sure it's not hidden in here somewhere. Are we missing a part? Get checked off as being in here? Let's see. I'm going to say it's a metal part. Okay, so Z motor plate, X motor plate, gantry plate, extruder plate, and extrusion, and a bed plate, and some standoffs. I feel like I'm missing something. Is it right under the cell phone? Are you serious? No. No, here. There's like a little L bracket thing that holds the part cooling fan. That, you know what? That's a printed piece. I'm an idiot. I'm almost certain that's a printed piece. Like literally the middle of the tripod. No, dude, it's a printed piece, and I don't know that I have it yet. Let's take a look here, though. let's check this out. Moving mobile camera over to the up. A little ABS factory. Look at that. Ooh, isn't that awesome? So, interesting thing about the up, you certainly don't have to print on a raft, but for these guys, I opted to do so. Rats. Okay, looks like I might have a leveling problem here, because I got a nice curl going there. So it looks like we came off the bed. So this guy may not cut it. You know, that might actually still work because it seats inside of the cylinder, but I'll probably reprint that just to be safe. But these other parts look like they turned out okay, huh? Sit back down because my head's probably off frame. Let's take them off and take a look, huh? Really, isn't it nice when you get a nice, like, just got a nice set, fresh set of prints coming off the bed, and it's like when Mom used to bake cookies, pull them right out of the oven, clean up some supports there, and some interesting interface layer there. That's all right. There. All right, take that off. So the Mini actually comes with this like PCB board with something like a build tack equivalent kind of on it. It's a bummer about this warp because up until like the last two prints, the thing was just dialed in. It was just cranking out ABS parts, no warp, looking great. And looks like the party has ended, so I don't know, there might be some calibration I've got to do on that. But anyway, so we got a couple of parts for various stuff. I still have probably about 10 more parts to print. There was on the list of prints. Let's see here. Where's the STLs? Print about LSTL. So we need 4 bar clamps, 4 8mm bar clamps, 12mm bar clamps. We need 4 of those. So still need to do those. So that's 8 more right there. Then my 50mm fan mount, my 50mm fan shroud I have to print. My board mount, my end stop mount, my other end stop mount. I need 4 feet. I got 3 out of the 4. I need a power supply mount unit. That's what one of these is. It's one of my PSU units. And then I've got the roller, geared, and idler insert here, except for my geared insert is the one that is warped on its base. Funny the way ABS likes to warp sometimes. Let's see what this looks like when it's cleaned up. But it's like, you know, see it, and then it like, where it warped, it like compresses. You know, still seems like a pretty clean print though. At least the top part. Oh, I love taking off supports. It's so satisfying. Get that raft off. Ooh, felt good. Yeah. Tear it off. And we'll just get the trash can and throw this away in a bit. See how well this fits in. See, I'm a little bit worried though if, you know, those feet were supposed to be more of like a pressure fit, that I'm perhaps under extruding, because I believe this is going to have to press fit into the idler assembly. Now see, that's nice. Yeah, that's going to work fine. I don't think this warp actually matters. It's going to sit inside. Like, you know, if this thing was moving at high speed, I would say yeah, because it would create a wobble, but no, it's going to fits nice inside that aluminum. Cool. And then this one on the other side, like so. So we'll just take that off. Not bad on the support layers, on the raft layer. See you, Ben. Cool. All right, well, man, that seats in there nicely. Look at that. Cool. So a little bit more cleanup in there, but I think that ought to do quite well. And I'm happy to see how snug that fit. All right, guys. Looks like I'm losing everybody. Coffee in 3 hours, huh, Walter? I'll tell you what, I don't know that I'm going to be up for that, but if I am, maybe I'll join, huh? That is, if I'm invited. I don't want to invite myself to the coffee. All right, let's clean up some of this. And you know what? That here. Right there. PrintrBelt sticker. Oh, another Fusion 360 trial thingy. Awesome. I wonder if I can just keep setting up trials. That'd be sweet. I'm guessing they've. Cool, man. I love me some coffee and grits and eggs and sausage. It's not bacon, but sounds good to me anyway. I love breakfast. It's the best meal, hands down. All the other meals are junk meals compared to breakfast. Always the best food. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some good food, you know, for other meals and stuff too. But man, I love breakfast. Very satisfying. Good way to start the day, right? It's always an interesting thing about printing ABS is you get like these interesting like kind of scorches where like you know, it gets a little sloppy on the nozzle and it kind of toasts and burns, and then it kind of gets on your model like that. You don't see that same effect with PLA. But I gotta tell you, like, I just love how solid ABS. I haven't printed a lot of ABS in a while. You know, not that, I mean, you can get really strong parts and stuff out of PLA and PLA as well, but I don't know, nicely printed ABS part is a thing of beauty. Also, the layer lines don't show, it seems like, nearly as much. So I feel like it fuses together a little bit better. But anyway. All right, well, I don't need to clean all this up right now, but you know, I'm happy with the way these turned out. And I think I'll set a couple more parts printing before I hit the sack, and hopefully wake up in the morning and have some more printed parts ready to go, so I can keep this assembly rolling. And if I do, I will pick right back up with the stream, seeing as this is pushing a few hours at least now. What are we at, like an hour and a half? A lot. We're at a lot, and I'm fading fast. So, yeah, we've been at it for, wrong window. Doesn't matter, I don't need to tell you guys this. Yep, almost 2 hours. In fact, we're 16 seconds for 2 hours. So I'm gonna sign off now. Had fun. Thanks everybody for showing up, and good night or morning or whatever it is where you are. And I'll catch you for part 2 shortly, I hope.